What is up, Script family? Back with a quick deck profile. I don't really have much time right now. I have to be back to work relatively soon. I just spent my entire lunch break doing important stuff, adult things. And I'm here with this deck profile, this deck that I've been playing a lot lately, which is green, black, Masked Saiyan. Been having a lot of fun with it, been tweaking it, been enjoying the different play patterns that the deck offers. Masked Saiyan, of course, is an amazing leader, and this deck kind of is a slower version, more mid-range version, definitely different than the red-blue versions that I've been seeing play. And before I get started, let me go ahead and give a shout-out to Bearded Collectibles' best sponsor ever, Alec Pastrana, amazing shop owner. Be sure to check out the BC Gaming Podcast. You can find it on Podbean. I've been listening to that as of late. Good content there. Also, just his shop, amazing prices on all the Set 3 stuff and all your Set 4 stuff, and then all your alternate box stuff, and then all your... lots of product coming out this year. But anyway, so let's go ahead and jump straight into the deck profile. So, let's start with the green stuff. 4 Trunks Bridge to the Future. If you look at the overall, like pretty much all the cards in the deck, almost every card is a Saiyan. So this is going to hit all of them, which is pretty dope, right? So super strong. Then we have Caulifla and Kaba. So we're running the whole entire VeggieKales package as people coined. So we have 4 Kaba, 4 Caulifla, 4 Kale. So this is really dope, right? It's essentially Caulifla is one of your ways to awaken. Kaba can fetch a Caulifla or a Kale for you, and if it's Caulifla, you can put it into play, which is dope. So the reason why I opted to do this was basically so I have a way to awaken, and then I also have something that can act as Caulifla copies 5 through 8, so Kaba does that for me. Then, of course, we have our 4 Kales, so we have some additional removal that we can play for 1 less if we get Kaba out. And in general, it's just still a really good card, especially when you have access to Overwhelm, so you can play like a Time Patrol Trunks and then Hidden Awakening Kale without having to burn a body, so that's dope. And then we have 4 Terrasite Goku Black. Do not build a green mid-range deck without this card. This card does everything you want it to do in this format. It provides you great board presence, which is what you need. It provides you high combo potential to defend yourself because you need to be able to tap out on your turns to be able to play, you know, really important threats, and Terrasite lets you do that. It's a great offensive and defensive card. I've been loving this card in testing. It's what draws me to green, especially with Mecha Frieza being the big majority of the meta, especially with Mecha Apes, because this card goes wide enough to basically get through all the blockers that they're going to have on the table and allow you to swing for lethal while putting pressure on that leader itself. And then, of course, the cool stuff, we have 3 Unyielding Justice Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. This card's great. Evolves for a green and 2. So once you play your bridge, you can play this on your turn 3 and you get a blocker with barrier, so it can't be chosen by your opponent's skills. And then when a card involves this card, draws 1 card. So essentially replaces itself. So it turns itself into a cantrip, and then you're going to be able to, you know, have a blocker with barrier that combos well with King Vegeta's Surprise Attack, which is a really dope combination. And I really like King Vegeta's Surprise Attack as opposed to Enrage Gohan Awakening and testing, because usually I don't like to discard the card with Enrage Gohan's Awakening, and I like to be able to punish people for attacking and me blocking, or them attacking my battle cards. So King Vegeta works really well against Apes and any of the aggressive strategy that ends up trying to attack your board. So I love this card. For the black cards, we have our 4 10k boost, we have 4 Time Patrol, we have 4 Haru Haru. This card is great. You know, Peter Katani featured it in his deck and ended up being one of the key parts of the deck itself. I think this is great for a lot of the black decks going forward because it's something that you can easily play and just splash. 4 of these, you can play it in any deck. In this deck, it just works really well, especially if you're going to be doing the Killer Sword Trunks combo. We have 4 Increasing Evil Masked Saiyan, so again, another method for us to be able to awaken. So we have 8 sources of awakening. 2 Dark Plot. This card is great. What I really like to do is Dark Plot for my Trunks Power Overseeing Time. This kind of allows me to have a really good top end for only 4 energy, and in this case it's only 1 energy because you get to play this Double Striker for 1 because of the effect of Dark Plot. So you can actually end up playing something additionally that turn, which could be relatively gross. Especially if you're playing as a yellow leader and you Dark Plot, then you pull out this, your Trunks Power Receiving Time, and then you play a Haru Haru with your other 3 energy, and you untap all 4. And then you swing with your Power Receding Time, and then you Killer Sword Trunks. Like, there's just a lot of nifty combinations you can do in this deck. So this deck, it allows you to kind of switch gears throughout the game itself. There's a lot of unique combinations that the deck has. I played this on Pat's stream last night. It was a slightly different build. Like, I was testing out some full power Vegetas, and then the new Vegeta from the set 4 drop, and I really didn't like it as much. It is actually just running Cauliflas and running the Trunks to go with the Bridge of the Future. So I definitely prefer this build a lot more, so you guys should definitely test it out. Masked Saiyan is still a great leader. I do think the red-blue deck has a place in the format, but I just think decks that start to play a little bit more removal and decks that start to put a board presence will end up being better. So If your turn 2 play is Saiyan Teamwork Kaba and put out a Caulifla, and your turn 3 is a Terror Scythe, you have a ton of bodies on the board that your opponent has to deal with, and there's no like true sweepers in this game. So that plus your ability to overwhelm with Masked Saiyan Leader, you are able to put a ton of pressure on the opponent itself. So this is a deck that I've really been enjoying so far. Again, you can see me play it on Pat's stream last night in a couple of games. I think the coolest combination I did was Time Patrol, evolve into Killer Sword, get a Haru Haru, and then play a Terror Scythe. So my board just got gigantic, and I was playing against a Mecha Frieza deck at the time. So you can really see the power of making your board go wide and how it gets past all those blockers and gets through all the Shigesh combos. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it was quick. Got to head back to work. Okay, bye!